Hi. If you've been recently diagnosed with cancer, it must be a trying time for you. Difficult, confusing. What treatments should I do? Am I going to be able to get better? And I, of course, would love to help you along on this journey because there's so many things. You might be searching so many ways to heal yourself. And what about this law of attraction thing? Is that worth my time and energy? Does it even work? And the short answer is yes. So I'm going to explain some key components about how to use the law of attraction and explain as well some reasons why it may not have worked for you or others in the past. But I would say it is definitely a good thing to do because here's the thing, it is a universal law. It is working 100% of the time, whether you are actively using it in your favor or not. So we might as well empower ourselves and take charge. And hey, also, it's free. And yeah, it works whether you believe in it or not. So let's use it in our favor. I'll explain some of the key things. I'm not going to go over everything about it and all the nuances because otherwise this would be like a 15-hour video. But I'll give you the main things you need to do and look out for. And yeah, let's do this. So of course, I'm also not saying do this and only this. I mean, do whatever sort of treatments you are called to do. It'll just make those that much more effective. This is something you can just sort of do in the background. So, hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Mateka, naturopathic physician, energy worker, transformational life coach, and I help those on their cancer journey ignite the healing powers within and return to health and wellness to an even better state than before, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. Okay, so law of attraction, you guys probably already know what this is. I'll briefly go over it. It is like attracts like. So our vibration, everything is energy and vibration. This is scientific. You can look into that. Our vibration is going to magnetically pull to us what it is. And so our vibration is a culmination of things, our inner world, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, dreams, etc. But yeah, largely think of it as a reflection of our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Therefore, it's really important to watch our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs. So, you might be thinking, well, yeah, I don't think this works because I've known people who have had cancer and really believed they were going to get well, really believed they were going to make it, really believed they were going to fight it, beat it, destroy it, had the will, the drive. And I totally hear what you're saying. And that's where I'm going to first start with this perhaps most important key component, which is, using the phrasing, the thoughts that we think to ourselves in the affirmative. So, what exactly are you saying to yourself? Are you saying, I'm going to beat cancer? I'm going to rid myself of cancer? I'm going to get rid of this cancer? Or are you saying, I'm going to become well, healed? That is a very big, important, super huge, important distinction. And awesomely enough, this part of the law of attraction is actually proven in actual cancer research. If you look at Kelly, which I talk about this a lot, but if you look at Kelly A. Turner's research, decades and decades and decades of collecting data and stories on cancer patients who had a spontaneous remission and looking at what they had in common. And these spontaneous remissions were defined as people having cancer who had a cure that could not be described by conventional means. Either they weren't doing conventional medicine or they weren't doing enough of it to really describe, to account for the cure that they had. And her the number one, I mean, there's not really a number one because they're not sure of these 10 factors. There's 10 factors and they're not really sure which ones are the most important ones, but there are three that are foundational. And one of those is strong reasons for living. Now, hear me out how this is related. So, strong reasons for living, as being one of the factors that those who had a spontaneous remission had in common, was defined as these cancer patients focused on where they did want to go, not on where they did not want to go. And they didn't use terms like fighting cancer or this cancer battle. They simply focused on becoming well again and focusing on their why of why they wanted to become well again. So they were focusing on moving towards what they did want, not away from what they didn't want, towards what they love, not away from something they fear. And this is the distinction that made all the difference. And it's exactly the same with the law of attraction. You want to clarify where it is you want to go, what it is you want in the affirmative. So it's not, I want to rid my body of cancer. I want to get rid of this cancer. Maybe you don't even use words like, I want to heal myself from cancer. It's, I, I want vibrant, vital health. And then there's some distinctions with this as well, because you could use it like I am healthy and well. And in a way that's true because your spirit and your soul does not have cancer. Only your body does. But maybe that's a stretch. Maybe you can't really buy in or believe that you are well and healthy because you're not. And that's fine. You don't have to use the I am statements. You can also just say, I am becoming healthy, vibrant, vital, and well. Whatever words you want to use, I am becoming perfectly healthy, whole, and well. I am becoming healthy and well. That is a beautiful one. And if that is even a stretch, you could just use, I believe I can become healthy and well. I could become healthy and well. That's at least the starting point. And then it's nice to get yourself to, I am becoming healthy and well. And think about your strong, compelling reasons for wanting to live as well. That'll help you to feel good, because that brings us to the second really important point, which is when you think about this desired outcome for yourself, because that's what you're thinking about, a desired outcome stated in the affirmative, being healthy and well, and it should make you feel good. If it doesn't make you feel good, then there's that implies that there is a lack of belief and doubt that you will get there. And that can be a problem. But let's go back to the first one, because this is really the main important thing. So, wanting to state things in the affirmative is very powerful. So, it's not about, don't even use the word cancer. You're not getting well from cancer. You're not beating cancer. You are becoming healthy and well. And there are so many reasons for this. Energetically, it makes a difference because where our focus goes, energy flows. And the focus, if the word cancer is in there at all, fighting cancer, beating cancer, destroying cancer, the focus is still on cancer. So cancer is still in your vibrational field, which can then keep the cancer there or attract more cancer. And this is a known concept by wise people that don't even necessarily know about the law of attraction. So Mother Teresa, I use this example a lot. She has famously said she will never go to an anti-war rally, but if you have a peace rally, invite her. That is what she said. So what's the difference between an anti-war rally and a peace rally? Aren't they the same thing? Isn't beating cancer the same thing as becoming healthy and well? Not really. I mean, to the mind, yes, but energetically, it's different because the focus is on a different place. The focus at an anti-war rally is on war and how horrible and bad it is, and all these bad people wanting to do it. A peace rally is like the focus is peace and love, and it's an energetic difference that makes all the difference. And it's the same with your cancer. Don't focus on beating cancer, because that's still this negative energy of the cancer. Focus on becoming well and healthy. It really makes a difference. um, you can think about examples from our modern day. There's like, you know, fight hate and stop hate. And the spirit behind that is good, but choose love is much more powerful, you know? Hate begets hate, but love is a different energy. So it's the same thing here. Let's not like fight and beat the cancer. Let's bring in healing and love. And so, just the way that you phrase things to yourself internally, as well as the way you speak these thoughts, make all the difference when using this technique. And so just start framing things that way is probably the number one thing you can do, and is the easiest thing to do, right? Reword things. What's harder is the second part that I talked about, the having total belief in it, not having doubt. I mean, it's okay too. You don't have to have belief in it 100% of the time, but just try to have more and more, connecting more and more to the belief and releasing doubts. Now, I can't really tell you how to release the doubts. That's a hard one, but there's a couple things that might help. Just remembering that you don't have to worry about the how. Oh, how am I gonna become healthy and well again? The how is really none of your business. The how is not up to you. The how is in the hands of God, the universe, whatever it is you believe in. That doesn't mean you shouldn't take action. Still take action, do the treatments you feel intuitively guided to do, but don't ruminate. Ruminating is one of the worst things you can do. Don't ruminate and worry about how and is this the way. There has to be somewhat of a release and a trust in that it's in the hands of something that has access to more information and power than you do in this moment anyways. So just because you can't see the how, especially if you're like a late stage or something, like how is this going to happen? The odds are against me. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The how is none of your business if you can sort of leave it to the universe with belief and trust, stating things in the affirmative, connecting to that feeling. And it's interesting because stating things in the affirmative, it's not just an energetic, like esoteric concept. It actually works that way with our brains as well. Like our brains simply don't process negation the same way it does when things are in the affirmative. For example, this has been, demonstrated many times in studies, like the brain just doesn't process negation. So you can see this in, for example, with children, parents that say things to their children like, don't drop that bowl, don't drop the bowl now. Anything stated with like that don't, their brain is like, it hears drop the bowl, because the way the brain hears it is drop the bowl, don't. So the first thing it hears is drop the bowl, don't, which a lot of languages are set up that way. So they end up dropping the bowl more often. Whereas if you say something like, hang on to that tightly, please, then they're less likely, not impossible, but less likely to drop the bowl. So our brains work that way, and energetically it works that way. So you always want to focus on where you do want to go, not on where you don't want to go. And even when you're focusing on where you do want to go, like you're like, well, yeah, I am focusing on where I do want to go. I do want to get rid of this cancer. But still, it's also important to state it in the affirmative. I am becoming healthy and well again. So there's a lot to the law of attraction that Again, I can't get into all of the nuances and, all of the details because it could be a 15-hour course in and of itself. But those are the start there because those are really the main things. Stating things in the affirmative, where you do want to go, connecting to the feeling of that, how beautiful and wonderful and good it will feel when you're well again, and thinking of all the reasons you want to stick around and how wonderful it will be to take that trip you never got to take or to see your, kid get married, whatever it may be. Connect to those feelings because that's going to affect your vibration. And then your vibration is going to magnetically pull that in, like attracts like. That's the same concept with homeopathy. Homeopathy is like attracts like. So, like I said, there's a lot more I can say, but those are some key components, and I hope you found that helpful. If you'd like to learn more about Kelly A. Turner's research on what those who had a spontaneous remission had in common, the cancer patients, what they had in common, there's because there's 10 common healing factors, and I wrote a beautiful, wonderful article about it with pictures and everything that you can get for free as my gift to you. Just click the link in the description box, and then you can get your free article. It's like 38 pages, but it's like big text and an easy read. And I also offer cancer coaching. So if you are interested in that, you can see if you qualify by filling out the application in the description box as well. And with that being said, I do wish you the best on your cancer journey. Much love.